It seems highly unlikely that Trent Williams will play against the Seahawks on Saturday. What's up? Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Cone and Kruger. That's Larry Kruger. I'm Grant Cone. The Niners play tomorrow night against the Seattle Seahawks. It's the game of the week, the game of the year. Determines the number one seed, and it seems like Trent Williams probably won't play. He pulled his hamstring chasing down that pick six on the first play against the Bears last week. Ian Rappaport says that he doesn't expect Trent Williams to play. I mean, he didn't practice all week. It'd be kind of unexpected if he did. What do you think, Larry? Do you think he should play in this game? I mean, if it's 50-50, I'm sure he'll try. He'll give it a go before the game tomorrow night. Like, what kind of a how much of a risk should they take is what I'm trying to ask you.
Well, it's hard to say because, it's a new injury and it's not one that he's had before. And we don't know to what degree did he pull it. Did he slightly pull it? Was there kind of tightness in the area? Did he actually pull it? I don't know. Is it what degree it is? But I would say with an injury like hamstring, and since he is your best offensive lineman by far, and you got a good game out of Pleasance, maybe you try to get it done with Pleasance in this game and see if you can give. I mean, 'cause here's the thing: these things need rest. You are going to have a week of rest if you can win this game. You need him to win this game, but if you can win this game, that probably is the best. Without him, that's probably the best mode because then you get 2 full weeks off, really like 3 weeks off because he barely played last week. So I'd be okay with sitting him out if because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him blow it out and then all of a sudden they're Austin Pleasance the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all remember 3-4 years ago when he injured his ankle, had a high ankle sprain right at the end of the season, and was a game time decision week 18 against the Rams. Didn't ultimately play in that game. Came back for the playoffs and was hobbled. Wasn't quite himself, but he played through it. And I think maybe people think he could do the same thing this time, but it's a whole different injury. An ankle injury isn't something you're necessarily going to make much worse. You just have to bear the pain and understand that you won't be nearly as nimble and agile with that injury. With a hamstring injury, you can make it much worse. I mean, if they rush him out there in this game to beat the Seahawks, they could beat the Seahawks, but he could, tear it and miss the rest of the season, which it's not worth it when you're already guaranteed a playoff spot. It's not a must-win game. It's you really want to win it game. So I wouldn't play Trent Williams. If he wasn't healthy enough to suit up for a walkthrough and just, trudge around the field on 2 days before the game, I wouldn't play him in this game.
I mean, I was really fearful of what Pleasance was going to be, but I got to be honest. I thought Pleasance was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I don't know what to say about Pleasance. I mean, this guy has fooled me now 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, he really has.
Loved him.
I loved him. I hated him. And now how could I not love him again? But I mean, what I loved was he looked so ridiculously big and fast in OTAs, and he was running. I mean, really running, looking really fast. And then, and I thought, okay, big deal. It's a big deal. Even Furster was like, whoa. I thought, even Furster said, wow, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So then I felt somewhat validated. But then we got to training camp. Everybody beat this guy. You beat him with speed. He got beat with power. The Broncos beat him in the head-to-head. The Niners beat him routinely. And I'm like, gosh, Bryce Huff made this guy whiff a couple times.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he can't do it. And they got to find somebody else. And they couldn't find anybody else because there's nobody else to find. They had to go with him. But, in this game, I don't know. Do the Bears just not have good defensive ends? Is he going to get is he going to be a turnstile against Seattle? I don't know, because he looked pretty good against the Bears.
Yeah. And the way I look at it is Trent Williams is still an excellent player, but what does he necessarily give you? What does he allow you to do on offense that you can't do with Austin Pleasance? Serious question. Maybe that's a stupid thing to say a day before they face the Seahawks, but it's you didn't have a great running game with Trent Williams until a couple of weeks ago. And it's not like it's all stretch runs behind him. I mean, a lot of their successful runs have been between the tackles, between the guards. And while he's still excellent in pass protection, they're not pushing the ball down the field really because they don't have Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall's been in and out. Like they've been much more of a methodical ball control, third down conversion offense anyway. So I think that's a big reason why their offense was so successful with Austin Pleasance. Like Brock Purdy isn't taking 7-step drops with 3 hitches very often. It's the ball comes out or he's out of the pocket.
Personally, I'd prefer them to try to eliminate as much of their 5 and 7 step drops as possible anyway, and see if they could operate underneath. So it's, to me, it's not a total crusher, but I do understand when I watch the all 22 is that they ask Trent to go one-on-one and they let everybody else kind of go in a group. So there's oftentimes, I think where they'll miss him the most is in pass protection, because he oftentimes will take the best rusher and have no chip, no anything, just one-on-one, and then they just kind of slide the protection the other way. So I mean, I understand he's on his own level, but man, Pleasance is a big, strong, athletic guy, and he's fresh, and he seems like, if he can play, I mean, if he can play the way he played last week, then maybe they can run the ball. Maybe they can run the ball. I mean, I'll say this: the last couple of weeks they've run the ball pretty well. Now Trent was there for some of it. Trent was not there last week for some of it, but I mean, if the 49ers defense, this just in, I don't think has any answer for JSN or any answer to rush Sam Darnold. So you might as well play complimentary ball and run the heck out of it anyway, and short passing game. And if this means you're more apt to have a short passing game and run the ball, then you know what? Maybe this is not the worst thing. But I would definitely sit him out and let him get healthy for the playoff.
Here's where the Niners will miss Trent Williams the most. Third down, third and long. Because if they're in 3rd and 7 plus, they're going to be getting a lot of pressure, and Austin Pleasance is going to be like the target of the pressure in ways that Trent Williams, they would be going to the other side. So I think Brock's going to be under siege. This is going to be a way better defense than he faced last week with Austin Pleasance in there against the Bears. And they're going to have to be really good on 1st and 2nd down to avoid, making Austin Pleasance be a reason they don't win this game. Because he absolutely could be. That's how good this Seahawks defense is.
My big fear with Pleasance is that he whiffs altogether on a speed rusher, and somebody like Boye Mafe gets a running start at Brock Purdy. I mean, the difference between the 49ers having, I like Mac Jones, but obviously Purdy's their number 1 quarterback. That hit last week that Purdy almost took, but he ducked it at the last second, was like a Leonard Marshall type hit on Joe Montana. Yeah. I mean, it was a crushing hit.
That was scary. And Pleasance gave that up.
Yeah, and if he somehow gave Mafe or any of their edge guys a running shot at Purdy, I mean, the whole trajectory of the 49er offseason postseason could change.
All right, I got an interesting stat for you. So we know what the Niners defense doesn't do well. It doesn't rush the quarterback well at all. I mean, they don't even really try. They lost Nick Bosa. They don't blitz very much. They're the worst pass rush in the league. But I found this stat is kind of interesting. And I asked Robert Saleh about it. Clearly, he's not concerned about pass rush or sacks for the sake of sacks. What he doesn't want to give up is explosive plays. And that's runs of 10 or more yards and passes of 20 or more yards. And if just that stat, explosive plays, the Niners are tied for 3rd fewest this season with Green Bay. The only defenses that have given up at 74 explosive plays allowed, only defenses that have given up fewer is Seattle at 69 and Denver at 65. So I think that does kind of show how good freaking Robert Saleh is, that he's able to accomplish that with, I mean, you tell me who the best player on this defense is.
I mean, when healthy or right now?
Right now.
Tatum Bethune?
I don't know. Yeah.
Upton Stout? I like Upton Stout.
Yeah.
I like Upton Stout. I think the fact that Upton Stout's going to play, I think, is big. But yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it really shows that the Niners are getting by on the margins. That's a good one right there. And then, of course, 3rd downs, red zone, special teams.
Yep.
All these little things on the margins they've been really good at. And you add them all together and can it cover for – I mean, the 49ers – how about this? 49ers win the Super Bowl this year. They'll be the first team ever to win the Super Bowl, who was dead last in the NFL in sacks.
I know, that's crazy. That's why I still don't quite buy him. But here, let's dive into this stat a little bit more. They're especially good against the run. Like they have given up some of the third or fourth fewest explosive runs in the league. They completely shut down Jonathan Taylor. They
Yep.
have good run defenders at all three levels: safeties, linebackers, corners, nickel, D line. They can stop the run. It's just that I feel like I wonder if the explosive pass thing is a mirage. Is it the people they've faced? Because Luther Burden went crazy against them. The Bears went crazy against him. I wonder the Rams went crazy against him a few weeks ago. I wonder if when you face truly explosive passing offenses, if the Niners can really do anything about it when they got Jair Brown letting people run past them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's a matter of rush. I think it's just a matter of coverage. I don't think their coverage is good enough to stay with these teams. I mean, the Niners have the best coverage linebacker. He went down,
Yep.
and now they might have the worst group of coverage linebackers in the whole league. Now, I like Tatum Bethune, but when on that touchdown that Caleb ripped to Loveland, that was Tatum Bethune. You know, he was trailing that play. Gifford is
How
not
many
good in
times have the
coverage.
Niners given up that pass to the tight end up the sideline where he goes out and up like 6 times this year for a touchdown? It's crazy.
And in the first game against Seattle, AJ Barner burned him.
Yep.
So I mean, I think both tight ends could go off in this game. I think Kittle could have a big day. I think Tonjes could have a big day, but I also think Barner's going to have a big day.
Yeah. I my biggest concern with this Niners defense is when they face truly explosive offenses. I mean, they did a good job against Phillip Rivers, but he's not throwing the ball down the field. Same with Shador Sanders, but Caleb Williams had no problem. Luther Burden torched him, and he's good, but I don't think he's as good as JSN. And JSN kind of torched him week one, even when the Niners had a pass rush and were really good on defense. So that's why I'm a little the Seahawks don't have the most explosive offense. Bears are the most explosive offense in the league statistically in terms of number of explosive plays, but they do have that wide receiver, and Darnold has a good arm. We're going to get into it a little bit later, but his numbers throwing down the field this year are pretty good.
Oh, he's got great numbers, and JSN. I mean, this game reeks of Darnold completing 18-yard passes to JSN where he's seemingly wide open. Yeah, it's gonna be really challenging. That's why to win this game, 49ers are gonna have to get turnovers. 49ers are gonna have to be good on the margins. 49ers are gonna have to play complementary football and be really good on third down and convert and stay on the field. First game, the 49ers dominated the time of possession. If
Yep.
they really want to have a chance to win again, they're probably gonna have to do the same. I think Seattle's probably a better team than the Niners, and the Niners are going to have to, it's kind of like a horse race. I mean, they're going to have the golden trip by their jockey. Shanahan's going to have to push all the right buttons.
They're an interesting team. They do play complementary football, and I think what Salah's trying to do, he doesn't have a good defense, but he's like, if I can just get you to check it down, our offense is better than your offense. Like if you're not going to be explosive and you're just going to try to like nickel and dime us and have 14 play drives, we're going to beat you because our offense is really, really good. And your offense that it will just be methodical at that point. But if you can do what Chicago did and what the Rams did, then the Niners are in one of these shootout games. And they're not going to score 40 against Seattle. I mean, you were there were you there for, I'm not sure if you were there for Clay Kubiak, but you heard Clay Kubiak. We asked him what he expected from this defense, and he said, it's going to be a grind. The Niners know they're not going to be lighting it up like they did last week. So that means their defense has to play. You can't give up the big play to JSN. You just absolutely can't. I mean, their defense is pretty good in the red zone. The Seahawks offense isn't that great in the red zone. You just can't let Darnold hit him deep like Caleb and Luther Burden were connecting.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Darnold makes more mistakes. The Niners are going to have to get a couple turnovers. I mean, they're going to have to. Now, the turnovers were even in the first game, but I think this is an explosive Seattle offense with where Darnold's got a big arm. He's got to somehow. What's going to be really challenging is somehow they're going to have to make Darnold make some mistakes, but he's only going to make those mistakes if he feels the 49ers defense somehow. And that can be either with rush or really tight coverage or some kind of schematics that fools him, some kind of late rotation. But they're going to have to make some kind of, they're going to have to slow him down. If it's just Darnold playing pitch and catch with Barner and JSN, it's going to be, they're going to score relatively easily. And every time the Niners score, it's going to be like pulling teeth. And that's a hard way to win over the course of 4 quarters.
Right. And so, again, it's going to come down to explosive plays. The Niners aren't necessarily the most explosive offense. Ricky Pearsall's hurt. George Kittle's hurt. They'll play. But their offense is all about converting on third down, converting in the red zone, ball control, time of possession. They've been kicking ass with that all year. And that's what they're going to be. So they got to have the ball for like 38 minutes like last year, and the defense can't give up those big plays they gave up last week. We're going to get into the differences and the similarities of Purdy and Darnold in a minute. First, I want to shout out the official sponsor of the Cone Zone wardrobe, Fabletics. They recently gave me a wonderful forest green blazer, and I've been wearing it everywhere. I wear it to the games. Larry's impressed. You like it, Larry? He told me.
Yeah, very impressive.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize he said it's impressive. I didn't realize how much I'd wear it. I wear it indoors. I wear it to the gym. I wear it everywhere.
Not as much as you wear that rooted in Oakland hat, but
I wear it together. They go so well.
Yeah.
And if you want, usually people get like, shorts or athletic wear, but I wanted to be different. And so I got a blazer. If you want to be like me or you want to be even more different, head over to fabletics.com where they're having some amazing deals, even their biggest of the year right now. On top of that, I got an amazing offer for you. 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head over to fabletics.com/cone and sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything, including that blazer. This is only available through my link, so go to fabletics.com/cone to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/cone. All right. In honor of Fabletics, let's break down the similarities and differences of Brock Purdy and his former understudy, Sam Darnold. First of all, what does Brock Purdy do better than Sam Darnold? Let's have a complete exhaustive list of things. And you can't just say play quarterback.
Yeah. No, he moves a lot better than Sam Darnold. There's mobility there. This is the weird part about the whole Brock Purdy thing. The reason I'm so surprised where the Niners are right now, and I am very surprised because I was told that Brock Purdy had turf toe and that it wasn't getting any better, and that when he was going to come back, he was going to still have turf toe, and I didn't think he was going to move all that good. And then I thought after he played a couple games, he'd move even worse. And instead, it's been the opposite. The guy's never moved better. He's never looked better. He's never played better. This guy looks like the guy we saw in training camp who was really, really good. And I'm a little surprised that he shows no ill effects of the turf toe. So, yeah, he moves a lot better than Sam Darnold. And then he throws with anticipation a lot more than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is much more like a college quarterback in that he, has to see it open before he can't throw you open as much. He's got to see it open, and then he can wait and wait and wait and wait because he's got one of the better arms. So he can he tries to wait to the last second and just squeeze it in there, and then he throws picks. They both are similar in that they throw picks. They both throw picks.
Mm-hmm. Purdy is so elusive. He's almost like Kyler Murray. Like my comparison for Brock is like he's Kyler Murray if Kyler Murray gave a shit about football and was like really smart or had like a really high football IQ. I don't know if Kyler's smart or not. Maybe he's smart, but like the way
if Kyler read coverage perfectly.
Like if Kyler could read coverage and like really cared about football and was dedicated to the sport and didn't play video games, that would be Brock Purdy. That play he had against the Bears was like clearly the best play of his career, and it was just a joy to watch, man. It's the kind of thing that Kyler should be able to do again if he cared. Brock does it so well. And the fact that he's now a dual threat quarterback running the zone read, scoring a touchdown or two a game with his legs, I think takes him to a whole different level. Like if he's going to be an elite quarterback, he needs to be doing stuff like that every week. And I love that he's doing it. So that's where he's better than Darnold. I think there's really just one place where Darnold's better than Purdy, at least statistically this season. And it may not even be a Darnold thing. It might just be like a full team thing, like a JSN thing. But statistically, throwing down the field, I just looked it up. For Darnold, passes 15 or more yards down the field. So not even that far down the field. 10 touchdowns, 6 picks, 101 passer rating. Pretty good. He has JSN. Purdy, what does he got? 3 touchdowns, 7 picks, 64 passer rating on passes down the field. Now, Mac was pretty bad too. 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, 70 passer rating. When Purdy came back, everyone thought like that element of the offense was going to come back. It hasn't. And I wonder if it's because of Ricky or Jawan or the receivers in general or who they faced or Brock. But that's really not part of their offense this year. And it's a big
And
part of what the Seahawks do.
yeah, I mean, they don't have that receiver. I mean, they just
No.
don't. I mean, the Niners, Ricky could be that guy. I think Watkins could be that guy, but neither has stepped up with any real consistency. I think Demarcus Robinson could be a guy. But yeah, I mean the downfield threats, they don't, that's the other reason why the Niners are a real they're a team that would have a real problem if there's any kind of separation on the scoreboard because they can't score fast. They don't have that big playability. They don't have that speed. They're always going to have to put together methodical drives for the most part. They've scored a little bit more explosively recently, but for the most part they don't. They're drive the ball down the field kind of a team. So slowly but surely, you know what I mean? They're not a drive it all the way down the field. They don't have that kind of weapon. So Demarcus Robinson, though, I think could really help them in the red zone. And their red zone weaponry is awesome. When you think about Purdy's ability to run, CMC, Kittle, Pearsall, Jennings, they've got a lot of good weapons in the red zone.
When you think of like the difference between the 2025 offense and the 2023 offense, I mean, Purdy might be better this year. He was fourth in the MVP voting that year, but if you just watch him, at least the last 4 games, he's been so
Better.
good. But I feel like a big difference is, for better or worse, I mean, not having Ayuk and Debo. I mean, they ended up being diva malcontents who were more negative than positive in the locker room. And they had to go, and maybe they're better without him. But those guys were explosive, both of them. Huge plays waiting to happen. Ayuk down the field, Debo after the catch. It's nice to have weapons like that. And as good as Juwan is, he did have the explosive play at the end of the last game, but he's generally not explosive.
Yeah, it is interesting though. It's like I agree with you. They lack those two guys, but then they also you would have to invest a number of touches to get those two guys going. That now it's like Shanahan has the kind of freedom to kind of do whatever he wants and go wherever
Yeah.
he wants to go. He doesn't feel like he's got to get Debo the ball. He's force fed those two guys through the years at times, and I think there's less force feeding without them for sure. But yeah, I think Purdy's better. I think their line's probably a little bit better. CMC is healthier than he was a couple years ago, late in the year. And I do think guys like Demarcus Robinson is going to be a major threat for them because he's great on the rub routes, and and that's a major staple against the best teams in the red zone. And I think between now and the end of the year, I think he could be a huge factor in the red zone.
What I think is interesting about this trend is that the way the Niners beat the Seahawks week 1 was with Brock throwing deep to Pearsall down the left sideline, being beaten Woolen with like the game on the line, and then of course that incredible throw to Tonjes in the red zone. But if you don't have that deep threat, good defenses like the Seahawks are just going to squeeze you and squeeze you and squeeze you and dare you to beat them over the top. And Brock's not shy to take that throw. He's probably going to have to make some throws down the field in this game with the pass rush in his face. Fortunately, there's still Reek Woolen on that side. And you know what's funny? The Seahawks are really confident in him, right? They like him. He's having a good season. You know where the Niners are going? They're going right after him. And I don't think he's going to do a good job. I don't have a very high opinion of Reek Woolen.
Well, he's gigantic and long armed, and he's got all the physical, things that you're looking for. But he's been really inconsistent. He's coming off a couple good games in a row, but he had a kind of a rough year going on. I'll tell you the area where you saw it in that game, and you've seen it since, and it's an area where Purdy lives, and it's like nobody seems like they can stop it. He's really good on the corner route where he can just throw it with touch to a spot, and it's either going to be incomplete, landing out of bounds, or it's going to drop into Pearsall's hands. I mean, he's just done a nice job. I mean, Brock Purdy does something that very few quarterbacks do right now, and that is he throws guys open. I mean, he throws the ball, and when the ball arrives, there's separation there. It's like he knows how to put it in a spot so he gets that ideal amount of separation. It's crazy to watch, but it happened a couple times, and it's like it looks kind of accidental when you see it once, and then you see it over and over again. You realize, no, it's not accidental. This is a skill. He knows how to throw to the void. So yeah, I mean, I would expect more corner routes. I would expect more Brock Purdy passing in this thing against Seattle. Now we'll see if the Niners can hold up pass rush or on the offensive line, but I don't think they're going to run it down Seattle's throat. If they're going to run it, I think they're going to. It's going to
I
be
don't
like
think
3
either
yards a
team is
carry.
going to be running the ball well in this game. It's too serious of a game. Both defenses are good against the run. It's going to be very hard fought for every freaking yard.
Yeah.
Checkdowns won't go for much. Runs won't go for much. You're going to have to throw the ball down the field. There's going to be some picks in this game. It's going to be a spicy game.
Yeah, I definitely think both quarterbacks throw an interception.
I
And
think
then
so.
the question is this: both throw one. The
Yep.
team whose quarterback throws two loses.
I agree with you on that. Totally agree. Aztec 007 says, did you guys see the ESPN video of Alex Smith with Brock? I
did.
didn't. We got
Oh,
Clark Kent's alter
dude,
ego tomorrow. I changed my mind. Niners win. Bang. Let's go. Tell me.
Dude, it's incredible, Grant. I put it on my Twitter. It was basically just Alex Smith saying, "Hey, man, I was 6'4", and there was all kinds of throws that I made in the NFL where I couldn't see." And Brock
Oh,
and
Alex.
and Brock was talking about how there's a number of throws that he can't see, and that's why it's so important. And at one point, I think Brock said, "I'll take a okay receiver who's in the right spot at the right time over a great receiver who's not." Because you have to throw with so much anticipation, and you don't even see, he's like, there's 6'7", 6'8" rushers, you got 6'8" tackles, and you got all these monster guys, and he's like, you can only see about 30% of the
Well,
balls
you
that
know
you
why
throw.
Brock likes JJ so much, why he likes Jawan Jennings so much. You know why he likes Jawan Jennings? Because he's 6'3".
You can see him, but also
He can see him.
the number one reason is that Brock wants these guys that are going to fight for it when
Yeah.
it's in the air. He's going to put it up there, but then he wants you to fight for it.
But if you go
That's
back and
why,
look at his resume in college, all of his top receivers were big, tall. I mean, he
oh
likes
yeah,
throwing to big guys.
yeah. I mean, he
Yep.
threw a lot to Charlie Kohler, the tight end at Iowa State, and
Didn't he throw to Keem Butler? Am I tripping?
yeah, I
And he's 6'5"?
believe it. Yeah, Keem Butler was there, and
Yeah.
look at who he's had success throwing it to. It's Kittle. Kittle's a
That's
6'4"
right.
tight end.
And Jake Tonjes, baby. The
That's right.
Real Lyrics Media says, can one of you guys ask Lynch if he wished in hindsight that he traded for a pass rusher given where they are? The only reason they lose in the playoffs this year is if there is their lack of rush. We absolutely would, but he hasn't made himself
Media.
available to the local media in a long time. He does his weekly interview in KMBR. They need to ask that question. And whoever, if it's Murph or I don't know, ask this question, please. It's a good question.
Right. I mean, and it's a real basic question. John, you guys have really taken off since the
Yeah.
trade deadline. In hindsight,
Yeah.
do you wish you guys did try to get? I'm sure you did your due diligence, and you did add a couple pieces, but you didn't add that significant piece up front. Now, seeing where you're at and seeing how viable you guys are, you guys may be the 1 seed. Do
Yeah.
you wish in hindsight you'd gotten that, you'd made that investment? I mean, it's a ballsy question, but if asked the right way, I think it's a great question.
It's a fair question.
It's a fair
Because
question.
I think it's fair to us to point
Yeah.
out that they probably didn't assume to go on this run and be this good and to
Right.
be just kicking ass.
Right. And it does. I mean, it's not like it's like argumentative. It's like, hey man, this is the big put on your big boy pants and ask a big boy question. That is and if you ask it the right way, it's not like John's gonna bite your head off. I mean, the guy's had a lot of successes this year with the moves that he has made. So it's like you could, if you wanted to, you could give him that old compliment, and tough question in the same breath. Hey, John, you made a number of moves this year that really positively impacted this roster. But the one that you didn't move, do you resent or regret the fact that you didn't pull the trigger on that one? And see what he says. I think what
Because he could totally say, look, Larry, you're right. I do kind of regret it because none of us expected to be playing for the number 1 seed when Fred Warner went down. So yes, we kind of undersold this team. We didn't quite expect. At the same time, Larry, we tried. And there really wasn't anything that we felt was great. He could say that, but at the same time, I'd be like, man, you can't tell me that a third round pick for Jermaine Johnson wasn't worth it or Jalen Phillips wasn't worth it. You can't
Well,
tell me. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's the part where,
yeah,
maybe he also could reference other things. We did have some we had some monetary limitations. Okay,
that would
that's
be fair
it.
to say.
Okay,
Yeah,
or you know what? People, I mean, I hate to say this, we popularized the trade, but then we were getting held up. Everybody wanted us to give 2 rounds more than we should have given, and we just weren't prepared to do that. We weren't going to give a third round pick when we thought the value was in the 5th round.
still
I
though,
mean,
he's got to
something like
say
that would
something.
be honest.
And it's got to make sense.
Yeah,
He's got to
exactly.
say something, and he will eventually if they make it to the Super Bowl. I guess he will.
Yeah.
AJ Itch says, with Kittle coming back, is it possible we Willis it possible we run double tight ends like Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski? Do you think they'll ever get Tonjes? And I think that Kyle has a lot up his sleeve that he hasn't shown yet. I mean, he just broke out the zone read a few weeks ago. I wouldn't be surprised if when they make it to the playoffs, the Tonjes Kittle offense is something we see a lot of.
I think you're totally right. I don't know about the last part, but I think you're right in that there's a lot we haven't seen. Heck, you asked him about the return man Sky Moore getting
More
the end around, and then
like
that
that.
I'd like to ask him, hey Kyle, how about a little end around to Jordan Watkins?
Jordan Watkins.
How about
Yeah.
how about a 25 25-yard cut route?
I admire that you keep advocating for Jordan Watkins. It's never going to happen
He's going to be good. I know,
but I love it.
When he's good, it's like
He's going to be good.
He's going to be good.
They just won't give him a chance. He's too far behind other vets.
I know. I'm so convinced that he's going to be good. I mean, really good, that I'm attaching myself to him. But yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right though, as far as you're going to see more. Like we've seen some double tight ends from the Niners this year, but it's not Tonjes and Kittle. It's been Kittle and Farrell or Tonjes and Farrell, but we haven't really seen too much of Kittle and Tonjes. But I kind of feel like Kittle and Tonjes, like with the Super Bowl on the line or the NFC championship game on the line or a playoff game on the line, could be a very difficult to stop combination in the red zone, because Tonjes's hands are probably as good, if not better, than Kittle's.
It kills me that when Kittle goes out, Tonjes often leads the team in targets. Like all of a sudden, he's the focal point of the passing. He's so good.
I mean, he can catch the ball really low off the ground, almost on the run, which is like got to be one of the more difficult catches. So Tonjes has great hands. It's not like he's got pretty good hands. He's got very good hands. No. He's got epic all-time hands. And
he
then
can catch the ball away from his frame.
Right.
Big time.
And then you've got Kittle, who's super big time. And yeah, I think, heck, the Rams have popularized the 2 and 3 tight end looks because their guys can all catch, but Tonjes can too. So I'd love to see a Tonjes Kittle a combo on a couple plays in the red zone.
I'd like to see, I'm a big use check guy, big fan, always have been. I'd like to see 22 personnel, use check and McCaffrey and Kittle and Tonjes and Pearsall. I mean, nothing against Jennings. He's great on third down, but on first and second down, why not just maul people? Put Pearsall out there to keep people honest with some speed. But like, what is Jennings really giving you that Tonjes isn't? Tonjes actually just gives you that in a legit tight end body. Just saying.
Well, and Tonjes, I just get the feeling that he's still kind of underappreciated and underrated by defenses. He's got the kind of ball skills, and we saw it with the game winner in Week 1. That looks very accidental, but you know what? That looked like a lucky out of the blue thing. But as we've seen the rest of the year, we realized no, this guy's got great hands. So yeah, I mean, you've got a guy like Purdy who throws very accurately. You got Shanahan, who's a real great deviser of play design. You put Kittle and Tonjes out there, and good luck defending that.
Joseph for real says the curse wheel is in full effect. That's good sports. Okay. Loud Bulliard says last week looked like there were a lot of Bear fans at the stadium. Faithful needs to show up and show out for this huge game. There's a lot of Bears fans, and there's a lot of Seahawks fans too, which is nice because some of these teams like the Rams don't actually have – the Cardinals don't have fans. There are no Cardinals fans in the world. No. There might be 17.
No.
And support group.
And they're dying off because it's an older Arizona, crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Sucker Free says Grant and Larry. Bryce Huff needs to have a big game. Seattle is missing both their first and second string tackles. He hasn't had a sack in a while. Yeah, he hasn't done anything in a while. This would be a great game for him to do something.
This would be my big change if I were Robert Saleh. Okay, this is the big change. I agree. They're going to have a guy. I forget even the guy's name. It's like Kite or Kai Wright, or I forget the hell's. The third string tackle is going to start at left tackle. Charles Cross is out. Josh Jones is out. They're starting their third string tackle. But this is what the Niners got to do. This is the adjustment I would make. You have to get Bryce Huff off the field on those first and second downs. He's been playing with the base and he's playing on the front four. Find somebody else. I don't care who it is. I don't care. I really don't care. Sam O, Yatir Gross-Matos, whomever it needs to be, Robert Beal, anybody, get anybody in there on first and second down and see if you can get Huff to be that dangerous third down guy that he was early in this year, because he doesn't have any juice on third down because they're using him on too many first and second downs.
That makes perfect sense. I like that. Aaron Lost says, any two tight end sets? What about wet ball Purdy? I would imagine we'll get some two tight end sets, and we'll see if it rains. That'll be interesting if the season comes down to Purdy throwing a wet ball. But yeah, I mean, you get paid all this money, you should have to sort of like clear every hurdle. And this is a legit question about Brock because he's had bad performances with precipitation.
But he was awesome in Cleveland in this wintry mix. So you know what? Maybe
it's not a thing anymore. He can prove it. Nancy VS32024 says, Grant, a Niner and Purdy fan now. What you talking about? That is not true. Ruthless Rise, $2. Thank you. Soulful Sound Station says, hello. If Darnold outplays Purdy and takes Seattle to the Super Bowl, will the Niners regret letting him go in favor of Brock? He was clutch late versus the Rams. I don't know, but that would be really interesting to live in a world where Sam Darnold hoists the Lombardi Trophy at the Levi's Stadium. That would be just so interesting. It could happen.
It's funny, when he said he was clutch late against the Rams, I was thinking the last time I saw Darnold, the only time we saw Darnold start was against the Rams last year, and he lost. And he threw a pick on the goal line to end it.
He did. Ruthless Rise says Kittle should be traded in the offseason. Sorry. Yeah. Remember when I floated that idea 3 years ago? That was good. Aztec says 3-4 guys move Jair Brown to linebacker. 3-4 guys, like a 3-4 defense, move Jair Brown to linebacker, have Kendricks, Winters, and Bethune clog throwing lanes, 3-down linemen, or Elliott, Davis, Collins with rotations of CJ West, Huff, and Matos, etc. Blitz Huff. That's what they're not going to do.
They changed the scheme going into week 18.
We're 3-4 now. Read and react. I like the idea, though. Lau Bulliard says, how about the jet sweeper double reverse? They're just setting it up. They're setting it up.
Use your speed, though. I like the idea of using Sky Moore, because Sky Moore on those end arounds will take it up in there, and he, that's what you got to do. And you can't be, slow pedaling it on those end arounds. So I like Sky Moore on the end around.
All right, we got more for you right up after this. Chasing huge sports cards is a blast with Fanatics Live. It's an app where fans buy and rip cards together 24/7 with live on-screen hosts guiding the action. It's a great place to start collecting, even if you don't know much about cards yet. You can find streams for all kinds of sports, as well as Pokemon. Let's check out Fanatics Live Instant Rips Packs. Again, these are digital packs with real physical graded cards you can sell or get shipped to you. You even get an instant offer for app credit equal to 90% of the market value of the card. Let's get in right now. Let's go to this one, some baseball. Now I'm going to go and watch and see what I got. Let's see what I won. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Wow. I want to view the offer. $25.38. You bet your bottom dollar I want $25.38. Hell yeah. New users can get a free instant rips pack with the graded card to try it out. Use the link in the description to download the app and join your first stream to get your pack. All right. In honor of Fanatics Live and football cards and memorabilia, let's talk uniforms, because the Niners are breaking out a new alternate uniform. And to me, anytime an iconic franchise like the 49ers has a new uniform, it's kind of a big deal because their classics are just so perfect and beautiful. and now they're not messing it up. They're changing it. So we're old, and I'm curious to see how you feel about it. It's black, and they're black helmets. How do you feel about Week 18, the most important game of the season? They're wearing some new uniforms.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're fine, but first of all, the black helmets I think look good, but the gold grill looks cheesy. I'd rather the better black helmets have black grill, a black helmet and a black grill. I think that's a better look than the black helmet and the gold grill. So they have the gold grill, so it really stands out. I don't like it as much. I'm not crazy about it. I mean, you can see the numbers better than their last edition of black uniforms, which were like black with red uniforms and no outline. So it was hard to see those numbers. These, you can see the numbers a little bit better. I do like the saloon font. I don't hate them, but now that I know what's on the line, I'd rather just see them in what they wore last week. To me, what they wore last week is the best uni. That's the last time they won the Super Bowl. They were wearing the '94 throwback
Right?
with the red top and the white classic bottoms. I think that's the sharpest look.
I'm superstitious, and you're on a 6-game winning streak. To me, you want to change as little as possible, and all of a sudden throw in a whole new uniform. Imagine if you lose this game, you'll look at those uniforms and be like, I hate them. I'm never wearing those again. All I can think of when I look at this uniform is losing to the Seahawks with the number 1 seed on the line at home. Like, get away, burn them.
Right.
If they win, it's a different story.
I don't know if I ever told you this story. So we got invited my wife had some friends through school, through the kids. Okay. I don't have a lot of friends through my kids, right? I don't do a lot of that. I have my friends. My wife has her friends. The kids have their friends. I don't try to group them all together. We get invited by my wife's friends to watch the Super Bowl at their house. I had huge money on it was Green Bay, Pittsburgh. I had huge money on Green Bay. And right before we're going over there, she's like, oh, by the way, they're huge Steelers fans. And I'm like, what? I go, honey, I got big money on Green Bay. She's like, but can you just pretend that you don't? And I'm like, I guess. So I go, you do realize the Steelers have never lost a Super Bowl. If they lose this game, we are never going to be invited back again. She's like, no, you'll be invited back. We'll be invited back. No. Sure enough, we know what happened. Aaron Rodgers beat Green Bay. My bet cashed.
Beat Steelers.
And we beat the Steelers. Steelers lose the Super Bowl. We have never seen those people again.
Well, you tried to tell her. Here's my problem with these uniforms, why I don't like them at all. You know what they remind me of? Remember 25 years ago, the XFL San Francisco Demons?
Yeah.
It looks like the San Francisco Demons uniform. It definitely looks like the San Francisco Demons helmet.
Is the XFL. Yes.
It looks like they should have He Hate Me on their team, man. I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Well, I mean, I like it for like I love it for like preseason next year.
Thank you. It's a preseason jersey. Yes.
It's a preseason.
It's a preseason. I'm not a week 18 jersey. It's a playoff game, man. Take that.
Yeah.
Take that off.
Once they realized it was like a do or die game, you're still going to wear these. I mean, you realize, I hope everybody realizes with the Niners that for all the work and all the effort, it all comes down to who wins the game. If they win this game, those uniforms will be celebrated. If they lose this game, you may as well just put all those uniforms in a gigantic dumpster.
Did you hear Kyle yesterday? He was asked about the uniforms, and he was like, "Yeah, I haven't really thought about them much. You know, I saw them at practice. They're fine. I really like the ones with the white, the ones we wore last week with the white pants. It's like, I really like the other ones. Like, yeah, me too.
I like I'll say this. I like the all whites that they used to wear in Seattle. The throwbacks, but the road throwbacks that are white and white. I think that's a good look. I'm okay with this. I just wish they had kept either the same color helmet or make the helmet like metallic if they wanted to change it. But like, keep it the same color. Instead, you got a black helmet.
The desire to have an all black uniform. Like, you're not the Raiders. You're gonna look like the Bucks. Why
Seriously.
or the Falcons? Like, why do you want that? It's not your color scheme.
I know.
You
And
gotta
we've
just
seen this. We've seen this across sports.
it's weird.
Duke has a black uniform.
It's like what?
UCLA has a black uniform.
It's
The
stupid.
Celtics have a black
Yeah.
uniform. Everybody's got a come on.
I don't like it. That's my spiel.
If it's part of your color scheme,
I'm allowed to.
if it's part of your color scheme, go for it. But if it's not part
Yeah.
of your color scheme, like the Giants, the San Francisco Giants can have an all black uniform. Why? Because they're orange and black.
Yeah.
Instead, they went and put together a purple uniform so they could look like they were, part-time workers at McDonald's or something.
I kind of like the purple. Like it's one of those
purple
things that you're like,
Giants.
I shouldn't like that. I shouldn't like that. I'm like, I kind of like the purple. I don't know why. It brings out the 12-year-old in me. Makes me feel like I'm on, like they were being broadcast on Nickelodeon. Stefan says pass rush is overrated. Just score 40. They're not scoring 40 this week though. I just don't think they're scoring 40 tomorrow.
You know what's going to be really interesting? If the 49ers win the Super Bowl this year, what is Shanahan and Lynch going to say? They came here and told everybody that they wanted to build the biggest, baddest, most fearsome defensive line because
so it turns out that
win.
Doesn't matter at all. We were wrong. It's just offense.
They
apparently.
went for Hargrave. They had this awesome line with Buckner. They never win it, and then they potentially win the Super Bowl in a year where they're dead
extremely
last.
expensive wide receivers and extremely expensive defensive linemen. Turns out you don't need either. Not at all.
Don't need either.
Aztec says Grant and Larry lobby for the 3-4 quality control. G. I don't really have a preference. I don't.
Well, it's like this. The NFL, by the way, the Seahawks run a 3-4, but DeMarcus Lawrence is an outside linebacker. He rushes the passer on every down. So I mean, it's like, do they really run a 3-4? It looks like a 4-3 to me. And when you look at it on this line of scrimmage on Saturday night, it looks like a 5-2. They got five. Yeah. It's a 5-man surface with 2 stacked backers. So I mean, it's all these 3-4.
I mean, that's sort of the Fangio defense, really. Alden Smith was a quote unquote outside linebacker, but he was basically just a 4-3 DN with a standing start on base downs.
Right. He's 275 pounds. It's a gigantic.
Yeah, he's not dropping into coverage. Brent says, Grant, what's your favorite Pokemon? Good question. Always been a Squirtle guy. Love Squirtle. Blastoise.
Did I ever tell you I'm driving through Walnut Creek one night picking up my kid, and all of a sudden I almost ran over 2 people holding their phones in a parking lot. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? They're like, oh, sorry, man, we're playing Pokemon.
I haven't played that. I've never played that. It must be fun, though, if you're going to die for it. Wow, Bullyard says, back in black, the Niners get the sacks. Let's go, Niners. Aztec says, should come out to ACD back in black. We in it. I bet they will.
I love back in black.
Partridge Mike says, Rasheed Shaheed is a real threat and could be a difference maker. Thank you for bringing that up. It seems like I don't want to bring that up before we get to the prize picks and stuff. This is one of those games where, like, if Bill Belichick were the defensive coordinator, he would take away JSN, right? He would find a way to bracket JSN and make you beat him another way. Saleh doesn't really ever do stuff like that, but even if he did it, the Niners are going to have to worry about Rasheed Shaheed. He's explosive. He got him week 2 when he was on the Saints, and again, they have no pass rush.
And not only that, he can get you 2 different ways because he can get you as a return guy.
That's true. That's true.
You asked the best question of the week. I wasn't there for this one, but I thought it was the best question of the week when you asked Saleh about, Demo's desire to travel. And I thought the answer that he gave, dude, was spectacular because he really just painted the picture of why when you're a zone-based defense, how problematic it is to do a defense where, one guy travels and it's not on him as much as it is everybody else. And then you're asking 3 or 4 guys to do things they're not comfortable or have been asked to do. So he kind of basically told you that they could go to it, but it sounds like it's the nuclear option. Like they're not going to it.
They better be prepared, though, because I mean, like, basically the short answer is like, well, if he shadows them and we play zone, he's just going to be in the flat anyway. So it's like it doesn't really matter. But if we play man, then we got to put Upton Stout on the outside, and he can't play outside. Well, that's my problem with Upton Stout. I like Upton Stout. He's a good player, but he can only play one position. He kind of hurts your versatility. Like when they had Travarius Ward and Deommodore Lenoir, Wilkes could let Ward match up with guys like DK or Devontae Adams and have them shadow wherever they go because Lenore was so versatile. He could play inside or outside. Upton Stout can only play inside. So that means that Lenore can only play outside. So I feel like a lot of this is just Stout's limitations. And is he that much better than like Darrell Luter Jr. anyway? Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe it is. He's a
I
pretty good
kind of
player.
think that both Stout and Lenore are both on a totally different level inside. Like I don't
Yeah,
I don't love Lenore outside. I think
no.
Lenore outside this year has been passable, but nothing more. I mean, he's not like he's been awesome. I mean, there's no way he's been like one of the best guys in the league or anything. He was great in the slot. He's very, very physical. But I kind of like Stout, there. And Stout, even though some of the numbers, some of the statistical breakdowns in the PFF make Stout look crappy, but you know what? Stout is not crappy. Stout is smart. He's tough. He's violent. Yes, they go at him because he's small and he's a rookie. But I think overall, I really like what he's brought to the table. I just think I think they need to invest in in corner in the draft. I mean, to be completely honest, because they're just down a few. They need a couple more good corners that can do more. And Luter seems a little uncomfortable from time to time.
He can't
play
play
against
man
the run.
coverage. He can't play man coverage. He's
but he's not. He's giving up too much room. There's too much cushion there. But yeah, Shaheed. I mean, you have to force them to. You got to expect that they're going to JSN and then rally up to if they go to somebody else. Cup's older. Rasheed's only been in this offense for a month. The rest of those guys are just guys. Bobo and Tariq Young, and Barner's really good. They're going to have to, but the other guy, the other tight end, the rookie from Miami, Arroyo's out. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Belichick would find a way to like take away JSN.
Yeah.
And it's like, heck, the New York Giants found a way to take away Jerry Rice in the late 80s. Yeah. There should be a way to limit a team that has one receiver that's this dominant.
That's like, so when Salah went on that long soliloquy, it was beautiful. But what I was thinking was like, all right, man, that's true. But like, if JSN's whooping your ass because you're just playing straight up defense, I bet you at halftime you're gonna make an adjustment. You're not gonna let him just torch Upton Stout all night if that's what's happening. And I want to point out real quick,
it would just be easier if they played more man. If they played more man, that sounds like it would be easier to let him travel with them. But because they play so much zone, that it doesn't sound like they're going to do that.
On third down, they play a little bit more man coverage. I wonder if they'll do it on that down. Okay, it's time to make a prediction. Who do you think is going to win this game and why?
Well, I think Seattle's the better team. But the Niners are playing great ball. Mm-hmm. And the Niners have tremendous momentum. And the better quarterbacks win in the month of January. And there's no doubt in my mind that Brock Purdy is the better quarterback. Mm-hmm. So 49ers are going to win the game on the strength of Brock Purdy's going to have fewer negative plays than Sam Darnold. I think in a game where there's rain and water and that kind of thing, minimizing negative plays will be huge. And I think there'll be, Purdy will have fewer negative plays. So I like Purdy and the Niners to get the win. I think it's going to be one of those, forget your script. I think it's going to be wild. I think there'll be lots of points, but also multiple turnovers, funny bounces, all kinds of stuff to watch for. But I like Brock Purdy to beat Sam Darnold.
I'm picking the Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks before the season started in this game. I have a feeling the Niners are going to do a really good job against Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet like they did week 1. They did such a good job against Sam Darnold in that game, but they had Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and Mykal Williams. We saw what Caleb Williams just did against this defense. We saw what Phillip Rivers did against this defense. I mean, even Cam Ward, Jacoby Brissett. I have a feeling Darnold's going to have a good game. Even though he's not as good as Brock Purdy, I have a feeling he's going to have a really good game. He's going to connect down the field. I don't know that they're going to score 30 points, but I'm not sure he's going to turn the ball over either because he doesn't have to face a pass rush, and he's facing a defense that's picked off 6 passes all season. As long as he stays away from Diamador Lenore, which it seems like Robert Saleh is going to make it real easy to do, no offense, I don't know that he's going to have to really force passes into tight windows. So On the other hand, you got Brock Purdy, who's going to be facing a ferocious pass rush, who may not have Trent Williams, who doesn't have that explosive down the field threat like Darnold has. I think it's going to be a tough, low scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins like 23-20, 24-23, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I can't, I have a hard time getting beyond is that, against Mike McDonald, Purdy's got 6 touchdowns and 7 picks. And so that's a, he's got to take care of the ball. He's got to take care of the ball. But
check it down. Don't be a hero. Christian's your friend.
Yeah, I do think though that the Niners have their upper hand. It's like for all those years, it was like they couldn't beat Russell Wilson, who was 17-4 against them.
That's right.
Now they've won 7 of the past 8 meetings with Seattle, and Purdy's 6-1 against them. So I just think that Purdy feels good against Seattle, and he'll figure out a way to beat them. But I don't think it's going to be easy. That's for sure.
He is 6-1 against them, although in the last 2 starts, the Niners have scored 17 points against him. And there were some missed field goals with Jake Moody. And that's why I think maybe they get 20. I just think this defense is really, 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 really good. And
something's got to give. Something's got to give. Niners have scored 42 points.
They put up 30-plus points on this defense without Trent. Holy shit, dude. Just put them all in Canton.
Well, I mean, it is amazing, though. Think about it. The Niners, to me, it's all about the turnovers in this game.
Yeah.
If they don't turn it over, how about this for a stat? The 49ers this year, 10-1 when they commit 1 or fewer turnovers in a game. Wow. Just don't turn it over multiple times, and you got a great chance to win.
And he's so good at avoiding sacks, at avoiding negative plays. I know he wants to let it rip and be aggressive, but you got to be smart too. And you're going against a quarterback who's very mistake-prone himself. So let Darnold lose the game. Don't be the reason the Niners lose this game, Brock. He's been so good at not being that guy since the Carolina game. I don't know what that was, but we haven't seen that Brock since then. Maybe here's to never seeing that Brock again.
Well, you know what this game is absolutely going to be? You can just guarantee this is where it's going to be decided. The 49ers have converted this year 51% of third downs. Crazy. Okay, it's best in the league. It's not just the best in the league. It's the highest mark for any team in the NFL since the Chiefs converted 52.2% back in 2021. So that's the Niners' third down offense. Seattle third down defense, best in the NFL, allows a conversion rate on only 32.4%. So you got the Niners converting 51%, and you got the Seahawks who allow a 32% conversion rate. And to me, that's where it's going to be. That's where the Niners are going to win or lose. Yeah. If the Niners win on third downs against this defense, they're going to win the game.
And they did in week 1. They did in week 1. They were 7-14.
Yeah.
With, the same personnel. But again, with no Trent Williams, it's going to need to be 3rd and 4, not 3rd and 8. Duh. I'm a football analyst. 3rd and 4 is better than 3rd and 8.
Well, and also the red zone. I mean, where have the Niners really been really special since Purdy came back? Well, the Niners were 60% red zone touchdown percentage in the first 10 games of the year. The Niners in their 6-game winning streak have scored touchdowns on 73.3% of their red zone drives. So it's really they're just this much better red zone team than they were last year, and even much better than they were early this year. So if that continues, Niners are going to win the game.
I'd like them to win the game. I don't root for the team. I'm not a fan. And when they lose, as people can see, sometimes I'm a little too ready for that to happen. But you know what? I got a little bit of a cold. I don't want to go to Philly, man. I don't want to go to the East Coast. Niners, can you handle business, please? I want a bye week. I want to play golf. I want to sleep in. I want to feel better. I'm tired. I'm old. Please win the game.
I will be going to Philly if they lose this game. So that's pretty much it, right? So if the Niners win, they're the 1 seed. If they lose and the Rams win, then they go to Philly. If they lose and the Rams lose, then they go to the Tampa Carolina winner.
It's cold.
Yeah.
I mean, Philly's not that great. No offense to Philly, but it's like I've been to Philly. I've seen Philly. You know, I've seen the steps and the Rocky Balboa. I've done it. That's
Yeah.
how the
But
Niners feel
it's
too, man. They don't have any good experiences in Philly in the playoffs. You don't want to go there.
and they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough
Yeah.
game. That's
Yeah.
going to be a really tough game to win.
Yep. Partridge Mike says vibe of the team way better with Debo Ayuk out of the picture. No question about it. That's been a big story this year. Partridge Mike says no end around. If Trent's out, then he says gut feel Darnold redeems himself in a big game. I kind of have that feel too, which is why I'm picking him. But it's like I'm picking the Seahawks to win. But would I put actual money, actual U.S. currency on Darnold? No, absolutely not. I put my reputation, but I don't care. I mean, I lost that years ago, so whatever.
He's not necessarily going that good. I mean, he threw for 147 yards against Carolina last week. He's thrown 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in his past 7 games. So he's not necessarily rolling fast.
I mean, if he falls apart in this game and is one and done in the playoffs like last year, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks find a way to get rid of him or at least bring in someone else.
Yes, Mike McDonald is very decisive. Remember last year he had Terrell Dodson and Jerome Baker and he at linebacker, and he's like, these guys suck, and he got rid of them. That was it.
He got rid of his offensive coordinator after 1 year. He's not messing around. He's a good coach.
No.
Final one from Partridge Mike says the old football bromide. Good defense beats good offense. That is true. I should know that word. Okay. 5:06 on the West Coast. I don't feel well. I'm going to take a nap, so I'm ready for tomorrow night. You look good though, Larry. You ready for tomorrow night?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready. I'm ready for those halftime nuggets that are just drier.
I love those nuggets. Do you go barbecue sauce or ranch?
Well, this last week they were just so dry. I mean, I felt like I could have thrown it across the press box like one of those stars, from the.
Did you notice that the food gets progressively worse as the game goes along? Like before the game, they got an omelet bar. Everything's healthy and great. By halftime, they're like, "You still hungry? Here, if you want to die."
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And by the end, it's like, here's a couple beers and the driest pizza you've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you're right.
They still
starts
serve beer
off
upstairs.
juicy.
I don't go back up to the press box after the game. They still got beers up there?
Oh, they got beer up there, yeah.
That's nice, yeah. Nice. I just don't go back up to the press box after games. I should.
I like are you doing your post game stream outside, or are you?
I am, and it's cold as hell, and I probably shouldn't, dude. It's cold. It is cold.
But it looks good. See,
it does look good, and I got my Fabletics, but I probably need something more. No offense, Fabletics. It's not built for that. Anyway, that's the show. Larry, I'll see you tomorrow.
When they lose, sometimes I'll start swearing, and then I'm in the back corner of the press box, but then people will come over and be like, dude, you are swearing kind of loud in the press box.
Oh, sorry.
So, oh, well.
My bad.
We'll see you tomorrow, man.
Proud of them. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.